All right. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Velasquez Vlog Show. Today we have a special guest. We have Steve Hoeke. He is a Galveston County native for almost 30 years, and he was raised in Galveston Island, obviously. After graduating from high school, he started working at Galveston County Sheriff's Department. Hey, were you a sheriff at some point, or you were just working there?
I was working at the jail. I wasn't on the street. So, I mean, I was just, I guess, a grown man babysitter, I guess you could say at the end of the day. I
Okay.
just babysit a grown man.
So you did that for 3 years, huh?
I did that for 2 years, and then I decided to go to the Marine Corps. I think that was probably the best decision I've ever made.
Okay, okay. Go ahead and finish introducing him, Mary.
So shortly after he joined the United States Marine Corps in 2009, he had served in Operation Enduring Freedom in 2011, where he received multiple high achievement awards and superior performance of his duties, such as the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal and a Combat Action Ribbon, just to name a couple.
Later, Steve graduated with an associate's degree in real estate from San Jacinto College. Congratulations on that, man, for pursuing your education. And I'm sure you had a lot more training after your degree. So I know the realtor, I guess, occupation is really demanding and really competitive. So congrats on you for that. At the same time, he
Thank you.
funded and operates a successful credit repair business. It's called Optimum Credit Solutions. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's it. Optimal Credit Solutions. Yep. So, what
Okay.
we do is we help people fix their credit so they can buy a home. And that's our ideal client is people who just need to raise their points up a few points so they can get qualified for that mortgage.
So you're not the average realtor.
Mm-mm.
You're not the
No, not at
average
all.
realtor. You do a more than that. You go in depth into helping people actually just not just sell the home, get the home, but also help them with the credit and the financial aspect on getting the home. That's good, man.
Exactly.
That's really good. Just to finish off introducing Steve, he's a residential and commercial real estate agent. Just to clarify that, that he specializes in VA home buyers. He understands the area and prides himself in successfully assisting clients with their credit and real estate needs. No further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Today we're gonna speak about uh, the real estate, the market, and also about things that also are influencing the market. Maybe right now we're gonna speak about it, what's going on right now because of the economy. So hopefully he sticks to that agenda, and then we're gonna ask him a few questions about how to get it done and about how to actually get access to that kind of advantage, because I think some of us will have an advantage at this moment when it comes to real estate. So let's go ahead and get started, Steve. Tell us about what you do. Tell us about the life of a realtor, and also tell us about the things that you do above and beyond besides being a realtor.
So, like you said earlier, the real estate market is very competitive. Everybody has a license nowadays. I specialize in VA home loans just because I'm a Marine, and I relate a lot more with Marines, and I specialize a lot in VA disabilities. For example, if a Marine has 100% disability through the VA, they don't have any property tax exemptions. So there's a certain sequence that you have to go in so that veteran can get that property tax exemption, and that's pretty much what we specialize in. I know the VA system inside and out. I've been through it myself, so it just kind of really helps the veteran when they're trying to purchase a home.
Let me ask you something. So, do you just focus on VA loans, or do you also help civilians as well purchase
I,
their
I
homes?
do I do any loans. I mean, they're pretty much kind of all the same things. With the VA loans, there's just some specialized knowledge you kind of have to know, so you get those property tax exemptions. But I mean, we do regular FHA, conventional. I mean, um, pretty much any type of uh, residential real estate or commercial real estate. That's something I can help with too.
Okay.
Okay, Anne Marie, is there a question you would like to ask and that you feel like, you know what, I never bought a home, but is there a question you're wishing you like how to start the process of getting a home?
Okay, well, if you don't have good credit, I know that you did say that you do help people kind of boost up their credit in order to help them get into a house. So, what do you do? I don't know if you can be that detailed, but what can you
Sure.
do to help someone, I guess, make their credit go
So,
up a little bit so they can be accepted for a house?
so there's several ways. If somebody has negative collections, let's say old cell phone bills or something like that, we can dispute those, and chances are we'll probably get those deleted, and that will give some type of score increase. But what we also do is we help clients establish more good payment history. That's
Okay.
35% of your credit score. So if you don't have any open credit cards revolving for you or anything being reported, good payment history every single month, your score is probably going to be pretty weak. So that's kind of what
Okay.
we do. A lot of times, maybe a parent will have a credit card that has 10 years, good payment history. We'll just add that person as an authorized user, and then they'll probably see the benefits of the score increase. So that's just
Okay.
a couple methods that we do. I mean, a lot of times it could be more in depth if they've had serious credit issues over the years.
Hmm.
But that's pretty much, long story short, that's pretty much what we do to increase scores.
Okay.
And authorized users or adding some type of credit line or something like that, that's the fastest way to increase credit scores.
Okay. So one other question. So if someone has, for instance, a lot of medical bills and not really anything else but medical bills, like a lot of hospital visits from previous years, is that something that's able to be fixed, or is that something
Yeah,
that not
absolutely.
really? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anything that goes off to a collector like that, chances are they probably can't even verify that you owe that debt. These
Okay.
collectors have to be able to verify with documentation that you agree to that treatment, and because it's medical, it puts them in a tricky situation because they really can't disclose too much what type of medical treatment you had because of doctor confidentiality, right? So it kind of
Okay.
puts those, especially for medical bills, it kind of puts them in a tight spot.
Hmm.
We handle medical bills all the time.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know. That's really good to know.
Okay, and how long have you been in the real estate business, man?
So I've been a licensed realtor for almost 3 years now.
Okay.
I'll have a broker license here pretty soon. I got my degree over 3 years ago. Um, and yeah, so about 3 years
Okay.
as a active licensed realtor.
So tell me a little bit about what's going on with the current real estate market, whether it's private residence or commercial.
Yeah, so for right now, residential real estate, um, there's not very much supply, and there's a lot more demand because interest rates are really low right now. So
Okay.
we've been showing buyers, and I mean, sometimes there'll be four, five, six different offers on a house. So as far as a buyer, it's pretty competitive at the moment. But if you're a seller, I mean, you have a house to sell, putting it on the market right now, you might be able to get over asking price. So it's a
Okay.
great time to list. It's more competitive as a buyer. I mean, still good as a buyer because how low interest rates are.
I'm selling a house right now, man, and because I'm about to get a new house, and this is gonna happen in the next 15, 20 days, the latest, right? But the thing is that every time, how does a seller can save the most money as possible when it comes to selling a home? Because right now I feel like I'm gonna invest $20,000 to sell a home by using a brokerage company or a mortgage company, you know. So how does a seller? How can a seller save as much as money as possible when they're selling the house with someone else?
Yeah, I mean, there are certain brokers who do reduce commissions. A lot of people frown upon it in the real estate industry. But I mean, really, if you were to put some work into the right areas of your house, you could sell it for more. Um, and then if you were to do that at the same time, make it very competitive for buyers, they won't get any type of closing costs or anything like that. We call it seller concessions. So if you're not paying out seller concessions, that's going to be more net profit in your pocket at the end of the day. As far as the real estate commissions, you could find somebody to do it cheaper, but they might not necessarily do the best job for you. So it's better to find your cash the other ways, increase the value, make sure you don't pay out seller concessions, things like that.
All right, good info, man. And when it comes to military vets, how can they take advantage of what's going on right now in the real estate market, such as interest rates and stuff?
Yeah, so the first thing they'd have to do is go apply with a mortgage lender. And right now, VA rates are great. I mean, I'm seeing some. I think we spoke. You're at like what 2.75. I'm seeing other vets, just under that, 2.5. So that keeps your payment low, and you're not paying as much towards interest over 30 years. And if you look at it over 30 years, then you're going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest. So that makes a big difference in how much money you're going to put in your pocket.
Okay, so for example, let's say I get 3% of $300,000. How much are we talking about in a 30-year expand? Like if I take 30 years to pay the home, just an example.
Yeah,
Are you actually
I'd have
gonna
to do
pay
some
three
math on my
percent or you
calculator.
pay more?
I was
I
like
mean, how does the
thinking.
percentage work? Do you actually end up paying more if you actually take 30 years to pay a home?
Right. So if you look at your mortgage statement, right, it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
busted down. There's going to be your principal, your interest, your taxes, and your insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that interest is probably your biggest part of that payment. That goes straight to the bank. That you don't see that at all. So the bank just made that $800 or however much you're paying in interest every month. So look at it that way. You don't want to pay the bank, $800 a month. You want to pay them as less money as possible every single month.
So the
So
lower
just
the
look at it
interest,
like that.
so the lower the
Right.
interest, the better it is.
Right. The less money the bank is making off of you, and then the more money you save over 30 years.
Okay, okay. And what kind of benefits are there for disabled veterans? I know you mentioned earlier that 100 disabled veterans that are getting 100%, they pretty much get all the taxes taken off. But what about other veterans that also are like 70%, 60%, 80%, 0%? Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So the VA home loan is always zero down. So that's always the best thing about a VA home loan is zero down. There is some closing costs associated with it. It's not much because you don't have anything tacked on like mortgage insurance and stuff like that. So it makes it a lot cheaper to get in. And what I do is I love working for veterans too because they bring zero down, and usually I get the seller cover closing costs. So I mean, I did a deal with he was a 100% veteran. He's a Purple Heart recipient. Maybe a couple months ago, this guy walked away at closing with a $4,300 check in his hand. So I
Wow.
mean, I got all
Wow.
his deposits back, and that's why one of the reasons why I love working for vets. But even if you're 70%, you can still have property tax exemptions. It's just not, you know, it's not nowhere near as having 100%. I mean, if you have 100%, you don't have any property tax exemption. So even if you're at 80%, I recommend going through the VA and keep on until you get your 100%. I mean, it's worth it.
Okay,
Sounds like
okay.
it.
Anything else you feel like we didn't forget to ask, or anything you feel like we left out for the general public to know, and vets too, before I ask you about other things before we let you go? Because I know, you gotta go and continue fixing your house right there. What are you actually, before you go? What do you got going on over
Mm-hmm.
there?
Yeah, so I'm actually at a flip house. This is actually a friend of mine. This guy's 16 years old. He has 3 flips going right now. He just finished one flip. So I'm over here meeting him and another real estate investor, a big real estate investor in the area. And what we're doing is we're actually developing a real estate investors course that we're going to roll out to everybody, make it very affordable for people to start getting into real estate investing. So if that's anybody's interest, I mean, this is where we're going to be doing it. So
Make
Wow.
sure you send me all your info, or like where people can reach you. Okay, send it to me. I'll post it on this blog so people can reach out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in case they have any questions, whether it's civilians, veterans, or people that want to get into the business, they can just go ahead and reach you from there. Okay.
yeah, sure.
And my last question before we let you go for real now, okay, is what are your future ambitions, and where do you want to go with this?
This is it. This right here. So I'm ready to start flipping houses. Um, I'm ready to start, I guess, making bigger paychecks. I like the whole rehab and off market type deals and stuff like that. So this is really where I'm going. And anybody else who's interested in that, like I'm want them to go with me with it. So um, what we do is we meet with a bunch of real estate investor groups and stuff like that every Monday. I mean, if you're in the Clear Lake area, we have a big meet. We're just a bunch of real estate investors get together and we all just kind of throw ideas around on how to become wealthy through real estate investing. So that's kind of where my ambitions. That's where I'm going.
You have a lot going on, man. I can imagine I don't want to say stress, but the hustle you have to be doing constantly to be able to keep up with all this. Because uh, it's a lot of stuff, and I'm not good at math, but I know how to calculate shit. Okay, and I'm letting you know right now, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of moving parts. That if you miss
Sure.
one, you're gonna have to come back to it and lose attention to other things. So I can just imagine, man, everything you're going through, and congratulations, because it is not an easy balance. It's not an easy scale to balance. So congrats on that, and I hope that all your ideas and your dreams come true. Hey, I don't know if I'm wrong, but is your wife also helping you with this?
Yeah, so she actually does
Awesome.
mostly the residential real estate. Um, and she's going to help us with the flipping, but for the credit business, I have people kind of doing the day-to-day activities. I don't really focus too much time on that. It's pretty much a well-oiled machine now. And that's another thing I do. I help people, I help people build businesses or whatever the case is. So, yeah, I mean, that doesn't really take up too much of my time. This is kind of where my focus is.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, but yeah, I appreciate that though. Yeah, I mean, it took a while to get the mindset to be able to juggle and balance, different things like that for sure.
Anne Marie, is there anything you would like to ask him before we let him go? Anything at all?
I actually was interested in finding out because I know there's some businesses that have gone up and some down with this whole pandemic that has started since the beginning of the year. So, is the realtor field, like all of that with selling houses and remodeling, is that going up or is it going down, or it's kind of steady right now?
Well, as far as real estate investing,
Hmm.
is that what you mean?
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, there's going to be a tsunami of real estate investments coming, and with the COVID and everything that happened, it's unfortunate. I wish everybody could keep their houses and everybody is good, but that's just
Hmm.
not reality.
Hmm.
Um, Soon there's going to be a lot of pre-foreclosures and tax delinquencies and houses flooding the market that are investments.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm switching my focus more now than ever is because we're going to be hit with the tsunami of real estate deals. And if you're prepared for the opportunity and you're there, you can pick up a lot of investment properties and make a lot of money.
So it's really good for
So
you and anyone interested in that, pretty much. So
right,
everyone join you and go for it now, right? It's like the perfect time.
exactly, and that's one reason why we're rolling out this course too, because there's going to be a lot more people getting interested in real estate investing with what's going to be
Okay.
happening here probably within the next 6 months.
Okay.
So it's a good skill to learn.
Hmm.
Um, you know, a lot of time freedom involved, um, and for me, it's a lot less energy than getting up and going and working for 40 hours a week for somebody. That takes a lot of energy for me to go
Definitely.
get stuck in traffic and
Hmm.
go watch the clock for 8 hours at a job. So, I mean, it's something that I think most people should be looking at. They
Hmm.
should be trying to find ways to, okay, well, how can I pick up this property? There's ways to do it for zero down. I mean, some of these
Wow.
wholesalers, that's what's called wholesaling.
Hmm.
I mean, they'll come in and make, $100,000 in a month. I know a guy, his first
Wow.
year made 200K his first year, and he was 22 years old.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'm in
So,
the wrong field.
Well, those are good questions. That believe it or not, there's people that probably want to ask it, and maybe they just don't know who to ask.
Hmm.
So that's a good question. And what do you recommend a young real estate agent that? Well, okay, I take that back. What do you recommend for people that are young, people that want to try real estate? What do you recommend them to do, and how to do it? Because in anything you do that becomes with great rewards, comes with sacrifice, comes with obstacles, comes with challenges. What do you recommend them to do to actually stay up there once they start the business?
yeah, it's all about scalability and building business systems that can sustain themselves. So a lot of that's kind of what I do with my other business too. I build business systems that kind of operate on their own, and I can kind of take my time and focus on my time on things that is you know more valuable and where the money's made, and that's kind of how I look at things. Um, but as far as getting into the business, read books. A lot of people say, "Wow, you're doing a lot of things. You're doing a lot of things." They don't see behind the scenes how many
Yeah.
books I read.
Oh
I've
my
read
goodness. The
I read
preparing.
probably 4 or 5 books a week. You know,
Hmm.
on business systems, on real estate, on psychology, and that's another big thing too is your psychology. So before you even got into real estate investing, if your psychology is not there, you're going to fail. And that's
Okay.
where it all begins, is your mind.
The reason why I ask is because I have a young cousin that he was getting the support to get into real estate, but he's young. I'm talking about 18, 19 years old. Come on now, Steve. 18, 19. First of all, who wants to be a realtor at that age? And second, what experience do you have? What interest will you have into psychology? And he talked to his parents like, look, this is a lot of stuff. I'm about to start college. As much as I appreciate his support, I want to focus on other things for now. Do you think he made the right choice?
I think he should still spend some type of time learning about real estate. I think everybody should learn something about real estate, maybe long-term investments. I mean, that's where the most millionaires are made, is through real estate.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think we should all have ambitions to either hold real estate, long-term rentals. I mean, that's where long-term wealth is made, owning property. Because, if you're renting a property too, I mean, as like just a regular person, you don't get any appreciation. I've owned a house. I owned a house for 2 years and sold it and made $35,000 just holding it for 2 years. I saw a guy, he had a rental. He owned it for 4 years, sold it, and made $150,000. So that's why real estate's so powerful. Same, number 5, brother.
Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do it again. We'll do it again for sure.
We'll do it again, man. And I actually want to do it we have to pick a topic regarding what you do and stick to it, because there's so much to talk about. So as much as we want to talk about everything in one setting, it's impossible, And as a matter of fact, like an educational blog will be something I would like to do with you. So we can teach these young bucks that want to get into the business how to overcome these challenges that you guys go through as realtors. And not everything is sweet, not everything is rainbow. There's a lot of effort. You're gonna have falls and ups and downs. It is what it is.
Exactly.
So thank you for being here, man. And
thank you, guys. It was awesome.
Okay, I'll see you later. All right.
And thank you.
Yeah,
the information was very much needed.
Hustle.
You take care.
Cool. Y'all too. Have a good one.
Thanks.
All right,
you
you
too.
too.
Bye.